Welcome back to Venture Onward. Today I plan to discuss The Flash and how Jeremy Adams' run was one of the best Flash comic stories in years. What is there to say about The Flash? It is quite a marvel of a run with Adams taking on the reign, which I never thought would come close to Joshua Williamson's run. I loved what Williamson did with The Flash, and I like the characters he brought into the Flash mythos, for instance, the speedster August Hart. My only complaint was that he had very deal primarily with the Speed Force and time travel, and most of the adversaries were speed-related, like the Reverse Flash. I came into the Flash stories when Barry Allen returned in Brightest Day. He is a great character, and I thought this guy was my Flash, and no one could take away his mantle. Then Adams came into the picture, and I could see why Wally was so prominent among readers. As Adams started slow at the beginning of his run, he eventually won me over with the West family at his side. The Flash has been one of DC's main characters for a long time. While Barry Allen is my favorite Flash, the current comic has primarily showcased Wally West as the main Scarlet Speedster. During Adams' tenure with the Flash family, he penned some of the best illustrations of an everyday man who can run around the globe in under a minute. I loved how Wally dealt with his friends, family, and enemies. His confrontation with Captain Cold was priceless. However, unfortunately, Adams' run is coming to a close, but he is leaving the series with the most promising book in years. Case in point would have to be What's Happening in 1 Minute War, which is building to be a pivotal story with Wally taking the lead as Barry is elsewhere. In the current arc, the Flash family has to contend with alien invaders that want to take all of Earth's resources. Even the bad guys can tap into the Speed Force, so the Flash family has their hands full against this enemy. Adams' run on The Flash is coming to a close with a new approach and creative team, not yet announced, for the Dawn of DC endeavor. I had a thrill ride as not all the stories dealt with a villain of the week, which was fun in itself as sometimes the heroes need to have a minute for themselves. However, during Adams' time in the series, you can see how much heart Adams put into The Flash, maybe using his life experiences. That's what I think. Anyway, the series set the Flash family in an exhibition way that honored the book's tone and gave the reader pure, pristine fun in comics. It also revealed why Wally West is one of the finest characters to carry the mantle of Flash, something Nightwing couldn't do with his mentor when he tried to be Batman. I think most of Wally's success is due to the Flash family, an essential part of what makes Wally such a great character. One of my complaints of the New 52 was the collapse of DC's heritage characters, such as Jesse Quick and Max Mercury, some of whom were written out entirely, which for a time included Wally West as his now cousin Wallace West being presented initially as the New 52 incarnation of him. Not to say it was a wrong move on their part. It just didn't sit well with most fans, myself included. Thankfully, DC Rebirth returned the original ginger hair Wally and gradually restored his old continuity to his proper spot despite some little changes so that it fits with the rest of the DCU. However, before Wally became the man we know today, there were some, well, let's say, hiccups. When he first returned, some of the previous stories derailed him. It started with the highly controversial Heroes in Crisis, written by Tom King and Clay Mann, where, spoiler alert, they pivoted Wally into a killer and unlaced nearly everything fans of the character adored about Wally. Later scribes would attempt to rehabilitate the Scarlet Speedster, with Adams thriving. Think of Heroes in Crisis of Wally's interpretation of the argumentative Spider-Man story One More Day, written by J. Michael Straczynski and Joe Quesada. Many have now retroactively regarded the book as containing some of the best Wally West anecdotes. Wally is described as a fun-loving family man who profoundly cares for his wife, children, and the rest of the Flash family while existing as a proficient superhero. It encapsulates a triumphant inheritance character, with Wally living as a far more trustworthy adult than the comparatively more gloomy Barry Allen, who had his struggles regarding his mother's death at the hands of the Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne. The point that Wally is such an otherwise regular man drives even the zanier aspects of him to feel engaging. Of course, Wally isn't the only speedster running around the book, which only helps improve his legacy. Wally has an abundance of positivity, which are irregular in today's comics but serve well in the fables of the fastest man alive. Even after DC Rebirth, the full-on Flash family has been revived recently. However, Wally is bound by Golden Age Flash Jay Garrick, his children Jay aka Surge, Irie West, Thunderheart, his cousin Walst aka Kid Flash, and even his wife Linda, who recently gained Speed Force powers. Wally's vast family of speedsters always divided his book from others, as he both comprehended from the older generation while even being an icon in his own right and putting him on the scene for those who would reach afterward. Every speedster obtains an opportunity to radiate in the comic, assembling them to feel essential to a piece other and not redundant or like tacked-on plot instruments. Though I still want to see a spin-off book, one Flash book doesn't hold all the other characters. Sadly, Adams has to finish his term on the label so shortly, but his stint scripting Wally West and the Flash family has more than impacted the Speedsters comic narrative. It also makes the book low-key, with 1 Minute War as a striking peculiarity, permitting additional direction on excellent character beats. It's a grand extravaganza of one of the finest lineages in comic books, and it's even constructed the series exemplary for children to read. Numerous comic book fans of the character and analysts have poured their recognition upon the comic, and it's sure to move down as one of the essential readings of the Flash comic. While not trying to sound like a broken record telling you all that Barry Allen is my favorite Flash, however, that doesn't mean I didn't like Adams' narrative of Wally West. The whole run was excellent. Everything from Wally chuckling at Captain Cold as he tried to stop a robbery to Wally getting in trouble with Linda when the kids tag along to his adventure at Gemworld to even trying to get his cousin, Wallace West, to change his name. It was a truly incredible adventure for the Scarlet Speedster, and it all thanks to the writing talents of Adams for making a thriving narrative. While Adams is off of the Flash, it doesn't mean that this isn't the last time we see the young writer as he is set to scribe a new Green Lantern book, which will be available May 9th. 2023. What are your thoughts on Adams leaving the series? Let me know in the comments below. So that is it for now. Until next time, venture onward.